everyone. Tomorrow I celebrate my 10-year anniversary with my husband, and we've been together for 15 years. Tomorrow we will have been married for 10 years. Yay! So exciting. Okay, so I wanted to make him an anniversary card that didn't just say happy anniversary and whatever I managed to think up when I write down on the inside. I wanted to actually be able to use some of the beautiful sentiments from another card, store-bought card, and I'm hoping I don't get in any kind of trouble for doing this, but I found one and I actually decided to cut the sentiments out of it, this one and this one, and because, you know, I'm a card maker at this point, so it means a lot to me to make these cards for my husband, for loved ones, for friends. I get a lot of joy out of it. I love the feeling that I get when they're so happy to see it. It just makes me really happy, and I couldn't just go ahead and buy a card and give it to my husband. I wanted to be able to say what I wanted to say, but also show him my love through actually making the card for him. So, like I said, I cut this piece and this piece out of a card and made it into my own anniversary card. So beautiful. And I'm just going to real briefly show you the pieces and the sizes. So you can make something like this for your husband, or you can turn it into a birthday card, you know, whatever you want to do. If you've got sentiments that you've seen in other cards from the store, but you really are, like me, at this point, a card maker, and you feel better about making your own cards and giving them to people, then this is what you can do. Alright, so first off, I took a piece of crumb cake, and this is cut at 5.5 by 11, and scored at 5.5 and folded. Alright, and most of the pieces in this are Michael's paper. There is a sort of similar, at least to sort of this darker piece, cardstock from, or DSP from Stampin' Up, but I don't have it right now, and I wanted to do a masculine card, and this is what I went with. Alright, so this piece right here is cut at 5 3/8 by 5 3/8. I used the scallop trim corner punch to punch out this, to punch out the four corners. This piece is also Michael's, but I know we have it in silver and red. I'm not sure if we have it in gold. And it is cut out using the clear large scallop square die. Alright, and that's glued to this piece. This piece is adhered using dimensionals. And then, of course, I cut this piece out to fit. So I cut it real close to the words. These two pieces of cardstock or DSP are from Michael's, and I used these two punches to punch those out. I'll show you in a moment if I can get them. Alright, so this is magnetic. This is Martha Stewart. You put the paper on top of it and leave not too much space at the bottom of your card, or of your paper. You would take it and then just press it down, punch it out, and when you're done, you've got a little heart that looks like this, but I don't use that, so I'll use that as scrap in another piece somewhere. But you get a border like this. So then what you would do is just, and I can't really show you right now because I didn't leave enough space, but you would take this heart and you would punch it out, punch a border piece. Maybe I can show you. No, I can't. You would punch a border piece out, and I'll show you what it looks like when you do that. So it looks like that. Then you would take another piece of DSP or cardstock or whatever, punch the heart out, and that would look like this. So then you just take those two pieces, using glue, you layer them on. Layer them together like that. So then what I did was I took, let me get my pieces out of the way over here. I took some dimensionals and I adhered them to the front of the card, like that. Alright, so now to the inside. This is another of the pieces that I cut out from the card, from the store-bought card. Took another piece of DSP, and this piece is cut out at 4.5 by 4 5/8, and I used this, I guess it's kind of like a photo corner punch, and I just punched these two corners with that. And I tucked the card inside, glued them together, glued the two pieces together, and glued it onto the body of the card. And I like this little space. I like that it's sort of off center, and I just like that look, so that's what I went with. So then these two pieces are also, oh, I forgot to show you. I also used the perfect polka dots on this heart. So I embossed this heart with the perfect polka dots embossing folder. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, so then you take two pieces of DSP or cardstock or whatever, and using the Scallop Squares Duo die, you'll use the bigger scallop square. This is the smaller one, this is the bigger one. So you use this one and you cut out two pieces of whatever DSP you want to use. And I've shown you this before in another masculine card I did just very, very recently. So you'll take these two pieces and you'll glue them sort of off center right here, sort of staggered on the card. Okay, and then you take that clear large scallop square again, and using another piece of DSP, you cut that out, glue that down, and I took a piece of very vanilla cardstock, and it measures 3.5 by 3.5. Again, I used the scallop trim corner punch, and I punched out all four corners. And then I sponged the edges, first with the crumb cake, and then with, which you can barely see, with some early espresso. I took this stamp, the heart stamp from the Always stamp set, which looks like this. It's this heart, this stamp right here. And I inked it up real well in the crumb cake, stamped it down. So it looks like that. Okay. The next thing I did was, like I said, I don't know if we've got a gold. We do have silver and red, but this is Michael's. But it's nice and sparkly glitter paper, and I just used the modern label punch and punched a piece out. And then I took the Teeny Tiny Wishes stamp set, the happy anniversary from that, and using some Versamark and two different kinds of, one was embossing powder and one is a glitter. I'd mixed them together so that it's just a little bit, so that, oops, I want to make sure I don't spill it all over. Okay, it looks like that. You can see it's all sparkly and pretty. So I stamped the happy anniversary stamp up in the Versamark ink, and I took it's hematite, and this is just a bottle I put it in, but hematite embossing powder, which is like a black or a pewter kind of color, and then Martha Stewart, and that was Michael's, and this is Martha Stewart's yellow gold glitter. And like I said, I mixed them together, sprinkled it on the happy anniversary, and you can kind of see how it sparkles. It picks up the gold in the glitter paper, and it's so pretty. I love that effect. So that's it. That is my anniversary card to my husband. I hope he loves it as much as I do. I'm very proud of this card, and I'm proud of sort of coming up with the idea to cut the card apart, the store-bought card apart, and I hope that I don't get in any trouble for it. I'm not selling it, I'm just giving it to my husband, but I like to have a nice, warm, sentimental, fuzzy message that I can put in my cards, and I can never really come up with the words on my own. If I could, then I would just so be happy to go ahead and type something up and print it out and attach it that way, but I'm just not really good with that. So this is what I found, and I'm so proud of it. I hope that you all like it and you can kind of figure out how to do it yourself for someone else. Wish me luck, and until next time, happy stamping!